The word on the street is that Billy Joe Saunders may be facing Canelo Alvarez. An announcement might be going off next week, and he may face him, of course, May 2nd, Cinco de Mayo. We know the routine by now. It's so tiresome. It's so uninspired. Canelo's team have just taken that Mayweather model on the Mexican holiday, and they just keep milking it. We know the drill now. Same atmosphere. Same insurance from the judges. It's a sad thing that it's not even controversial to say that. We know the drill with Canelo. We know that it's incredibly hard to beat him on points, which is, you could say, what makes the prospect of this fight not that exciting. It is on paper in terms of styles. Billy Joe Saunders with his fleet feet, with his ability to control from range, the trickiness, good work rate. He seems to have a style that could expose the fundamental weaknesses in Canelo's. But when you factor in, can this guy knock him out? Not a chance. Is he going to get a decision then? Unless he wins by an absolute mile, say by David Lemieux proportions. Probably not. Now, Saunders, of course, did look great in that fight against David Lemieux, didn't he? But I just had to double check. That was at the end of 2017. He really has lost momentum. I think he had pretty much a year out in 2018. And then he's messed about at super middleweight. Not looking great against guys whose names I can't remember in what are chapters that aren't going to be vividly remembered when it's all said and done. Now he's possibly got his big opportunity if this comes off. And if he sticks to the right kind of game plan, again with his very fleet feet, if he's able to make Canelo just follow him that bit more, get a bit off balance, he can maybe get a foothold in this fight and maybe just get something done. But there's a big difference here between David Lemieux and Canelo Alvarez. I didn't necessarily agree with him being fighter of the year last year. I know it was close between a few. And I've always been a bit sceptical of Canelo because he's very good at some things but not at others. But when Billy Joe Saunders kept calling David Lemieux a bum, he may have been onto something, stylistically at least. Canelo Alvarez is a bit stuck in the mud. Yeah, he's got stamina problems, but he is hard to hit. He dips at the waist, he twists, he slips, and he gets himself in great positions to draw you onto him in a way that would be able to get Billy Joe Saunders to give up range that he doesn't want to, and that's when he gets off with those very sharp and quick, much quicker than Lemieux's punches, combinations and counters to the head and body. So it's a very, very different proposition. The crude interpretation of just seeing Canelo follow him and getting punched on the forehead all night, that will not happen. Canelo is good at putting up his forearms, seeing where you are, touching the end of your punches, and then dipping, boom, coming up to the body and the head. Totally different situation for Saunders to deal with. Still will be a very interesting fight, but again, you have to go to that judge's insurance. What's going to happen? If he agrees to the fight, he's going to have to basically agree to loads of Canelo's terms. Saunders sometimes have difficulty with weight as well. Who knows? He might even get a fine slapped on him for his troubles as well. So it's one of those fights that kind of does need to happen. I would like to see it happen. It is an interesting styles fight. But outside of some miracle, it's very hard to see the middleweight gypsy winning this one.